Thanksgiving tonight, a memorial grows outside of the Walmart off of Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake.
Police say a manager in the store opened fire last night, killing several people before turning the gun on himself. Police identified 6 of the victims today. They did not release the name of the youngest, who is just 16 years old. And today, Walmart confirmed the gunman, Andre Bing, was an overnight manager. We have team coverage. Angelique Arentok will show us how the community is honoring the shooting victims. But we start with Sarah Hammond live outside Centerra Norfolk General with more on who the victims were and those who survived. Sarah?
When a Walmart manager opened fire in a break room Tuesday night, it sent people running. There were about 50 people in the store at the time. Most of them made it out safely, but 6 did not. It's a call no family ever wants to hear.
Advising that he entered the break room and shot someone.
6 people killed, multiple others injured as shots rang out in the Chesapeake Walmart. Wednesday night, police have now released the identities of those who did not survive. 43-year-old Lorenzo Gamble, 38-year-old Brian Pendleton, 52-year-old Kelly Pyle, 70-year-old Randy Blevins, 22-year-old Tynika Johnson. A 16-year-old boy was also killed, but because he's a minor, police have not released his name. Piles' cousin, William Pillar Gibson, said in a Facebook message, quote, "We are all devastated from the loss of such a wonderful person filled with hilarious sarcasm and love for her family."
Yeah, he was just saying he thought he was going to die.
24-year-old Jalen Jones made it outside with his life.
I'm grateful.
His mother, Kimberly Shoup, says when she heard about the shooting, she was praying for the best, but preparing for the worst.
If he's not answering his phone, he's not answering text messages, and there's a shooting at his job, you just kind of put 2 and 2 together and you kind of hoping for the best, but you just pray that everything's going to be all right.
Jones, a Walmart associate, is recovering now at Centerra Norfolk General Hospital. Shoup says he told her he noticed his manager acting strange, and then he saw the gun. Shoup says a bullet grazed his ear, and he tried to run to the front of the store for help, but was then shot in the back.
He's just glad to be alive.
Shoup urges everyone to hold their loved ones close.
The people you love in your life, just make sure you always let them know you love them, because you just never know when they walk out the door if you're ever going to see them again.
Shoup says as her son heals physically, it will take time to heal emotionally as well.
Sarah, a question here. How is Jones doing tonight?
His mother tells us he's doing a lot better. Earlier this morning when he arrived, he was on a ventilator. He's no longer on that ventilator. He's stable. He's talking. And we've also learned that one other person has been released from the hospital. They were initially listed in good condition. There's still 2 people here at Centerra Norfolk General that they are still caring for.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. Well, the mass shooting has sent shockwaves across Hampton roads.
Yeah, tonight, the community is doing what they can to honor the lives lost and extend well wishes to those hurt. Angelique Arentok picks up our live team coverage now at the Walmart, where a memorial is growing.
Angelique, you attended several vigils for the victims tonight.
Some are turning to faith during this time, and others are leaning on each other in this community. This tree on Sam Circle, surrounded by balloons, flowers, candles, and now windmills, serves as just one reminder that so many stand with the victims. One after another, people come to stop by the growing memorial outside the Chesapeake Walmart Supercenter.
I brought my love, my heart, my thoughts and prayers, but definitely some flowers, because I felt like I had to do something, you know, to show my love and support, because this is our Walmart.
While Chesapeake native Teresa Yeager says she does not personally know any of the 6 victims killed or any of the multiple wounded, she says she still can't wrap her mind around what happened.
I just don't understand why. And the kid was 16-year-old kid. He hasn't even started his life yet.
About 20 minutes away in the Great Bridge section of Chesapeake, more than 24 people gathered to unite in song and prayer at St. Thomas Episcopal Church.
We say this isn't normal. or we don't want this to be normal. And we say we're going to gather.
Back at Walmart,
it rattles the whole community.
Chesapeake native Kathy Stafford believes there is a path forward.
God willing. Yeah, just baby steps, because I'm still kind of in shock and kind of numb.
More than 24 hours after the initial call about an active shooter inside the Walmart, crime tape and police cruisers still line the area.
Angelique, we know the store remained closed today. Any idea when this investigation there is going to wrap up?
A Chesapeake police spokesperson says that investigating and processing evidence on scene could take several more days. In the meantime, Walmart corporate officials did set up an associate resource center and starting tomorrow for services like counseling and meals. So starting tomorrow and for the next 2 weeks, it'll be open from 7 to 7 at the Delta Hotel on Woodlake Drive. Back to you.
Certainly a long road ahead. Angelique,
sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tonight, we are learning more about what unfolded inside the Walmart from employees who managed to escape. Breonna Tyler worked at the Walmart for just a few months.
She says after she clocked in last night, she knew something just wasn't right. She was in the store break room when the gunman opened fire. She ran for her life. Breonna Tyler worked the night shift at the Walmart.
I got there a few minutes late. About 10:06 is when I clocked in on my phone.
Breonna says the regular nightly shift meeting just seemed a bit off as the crew talked about the work ahead.
I don't know exactly what it was, but something just said, just stand up, just stand up.
Shortly after the meeting started, the gunman, a supervisor, came around the corner and opened fire, getting off 8 to 10 shots, firing at no one in particular.
I honestly, at first, I froze because I thought I was in like a simulation. It felt fake in the very moment because I'm literally looking at this man and I see the smoke leaving the gun.
Breonna, just 28 with a 4-year-old son at home, says when she saw blood on the floor, she ran.
All I kept saying was, don't trip, don't fall, don't look back, just run. And that's exactly what I did. I just ran straight for the front door.
Breonna describing the shooter as a loner, a bully.
Okay, this is the supervisor that is most likely going to pick on you, or he's going to have an issue with what you do and things like that.
Breonna says so far she's handling the events of Tuesday night fairly well, but she's learned that life can be taken from you in the blink of an eye.
So I would just say, just reach out to the ones you love, keep an open relationship with them, do your best, like just be a good person, because at the end of the day, you genuinely never know when you will look your child or your mother in their eyes again.
Once again, Walmart has set up a resource center for employees and their families during this difficult time. It's to provide counseling and meals and a place to connect with others. It's been moved from its original location at the Spring Hill Suites to the Delta Hotel by Marriott on Woodlake Drive. And again, it's for the next 2 weeks. It'll remain open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The ATF and the FBI are assisting Chesapeake Police with the investigation. The FBI has set up a tip line. If you have any information that you think could help, call 1-800-CALL-FBI.
Tonight, Virginia Beach police are investigating 2 different shootings minutes apart, and we've learned one of them was deadly. The first one happened on Wesleyan Drive just before 7:30. Police say one person died after being shot at a shopping center there, and the suspect is still on the run. About 10 minutes after that shooting, officers were called to Independence Boulevard down the road where 2 people were shot. Our crew saw them tape off the Food Lion there. Police are calling this one a domestic dispute and say the shooter knew one of the victims. The other was an innocent bystander. Both are expected to survive, and police are still working to bring that suspect in. Next, lawmakers react to the Walmart shooting in Chesapeake, from thoughts and prayers to calls for more gun control measures. Also, tonight, a man who lost his wife in the mass shooting in Virginia Beach talks about the pain that lingers. And as families gather for Thanksgiving, what are the words that might bring comfort in these challenging times?
We continue to learn new details about the Walmart mass shooting. Police say a manager opened fire just after 10 last night and shot several people before turning that gun on himself. Well, tonight, Chesapeake police released the names of those killed. Here they are one more time. 22-year-old Tanika Johnson, 38-year-old Brian Pendleton, 70-year-old Randy Blevins, 52-year-old Kelly Pyle, 43-year-old Lorenzo Gamble, and the youngest victim, of course, is just a 16-year-old boy. At least 7 other people were injured. The shooting in Chesapeake is the second major one in Virginia in the last 10 days. On November 13th, police say a University of Virginia student shot 5 of his classmates on a charter bus returning from a trip to D.C. 3 football players died: Devin Chandler, Deshaun Perry, and Lavelle Davis Jr. Tonight we're hearing from lawmakers in the wake of both of these tragedies, and many are offering prayers and some are calling for change. President Joe Biden tweeted that he's grieving for the families in Chesapeake and the UVA victims, saying, "We mourn for those who will have empty seats at their Thanksgiving table because of these tragic events. We must take greater action." Senator Tim Kaine echoed that sentiment. He says while Congress and the Virginia General Assembly have taken steps to reduce gun violence, there is much more that we can do. The Walmart shooting happened in Congressman Bobby Scott's 1st District. Tonight he says any life lost to gun violence is one too many. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin has ordered all flags to fly at half-staff until Sunday at sunset. He says heinous acts of violence have no place in our communities. Congresswoman-elect Jen Kiggins called the shooting a senseless tragedy and said she's praying for the victims and their families. Finally, Chesapeake Mayor Rick West. He thanked the first responders who rushed to the scene. He also shared this video statement.
I know this community, and I know it well. And I know that we will come together and lend a helping hand to the victims' families.
Mayor West says support has been pouring in from across the country.
Families of the victims will have to deal with trauma from the shooting long after the scene is cleared. Sadly, there are many people right here in Hampton Roads who can identify with that feeling. In 2019, a Virginia Beach City employee shot and killed 12 people inside Building 2 at the Municipal Center. We talked to Jason Nixon, who lost his wife, Kate. He gave us an idea of what the 6 families from last night's tragedy are and will be going through.
You know, these family members right now, they're in shock. And that's going to be a moment of shock. It's going to be for about a year. It's a process they're going to go through. There's going to be a lot of love and admiration. Everybody's going to come to them and with funding and trying to help them. And that's all great. I said, but when that's all gone away, they still are sitting there with a hole in their heart. They're still sitting there with the PTSD. They're still sitting there with the counseling needs. You know, they may need to have some kind of treatment down the road. I mean, these things just don't go away. These are lifetime changes in somebody. And I just don't think that people will grasp it at the moment. Right now, they're in a fog.
Nixon believes these shootings can be prevented if there was more training on identifying mental health issues for workers as well as supervisors. He and his daughters are still getting counseling to cope with their loss. Even if you don't know anyone involved in the shooting, the images from these stories can still be triggering. I spoke to a local psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner about how and why incidents like this can affect so many of us.
I think because it is a local Walmart and so many of us in Chesapeake, in Hampton Roads, have been in Walmarts or even not Walmart. They have the same layout, the same familiarity. There's not a lot of people who don't go into a Walmart on occasion. So it really hits home. It hits home when you go grocery shopping. It hits home when you think about picking up something. You're taking your little kids in there. I have a son in a wheelchair. You know, it really hit home. Where would I go if I couldn't run with a wheelchair?
And she also says if you don't want to discuss these recent tragedies at your Thanksgiving gatherings, shift the focus and ask guests to share what they are grateful for this year. And she recommends joining an in-person or virtual support group to help you work through your trauma. Count on 13 News Now to bring you any breaking updates in the Chesapeake shooting on air and online. You can get those sent straight to your phone with the 13 News Now app. To download it, just scan the QR code you see right there on your screen. It is free.
Well, let's switch gears now and check your forecast for the Thanksgiving weekend. Temperature-wise, Evan, it should be nice, but we may have to dodge a few raindrops here and there, right?
Yes, certainly as we get into the day on Friday. Today was a nice day for travel for folks who are heading in or out of town. And tomorrow for Thanksgiving is looking pretty nice as well. We are looking at a few clouds as we start the day, but sunny skies into the afternoon. We'll start the day with temperatures in the 40s. We should see readings up to our seasonable level. Normal high this time of year is 60 degrees. That's what we're forecasting for your Thanksgiving day. And again, we will see the clouds clearing out by the afternoon. And even the clouds that we see in the morning will mainly be some of those high, thin clouds that will be streaming in overnight. Now, earlier today, we had some clouds mainly south of the Pamlico Sound, even a few showers just off the coast of North Carolina and down towards Cape Lookout and Cape Fear. And here are some of those high, thin clouds that are starting to stream in, and they'll sort of obscure the sunshine a little bit as we start things off on your day on Thursday. And as we take a look at the rest of the country, a couple areas of low pressure that we're watching. One here just around the Texas area moving into Arkansas. Another one back here over the Rockies. Those two are sort of going to merge and work their way eastward, and that's what will give us our rain as we head into the day on Friday. Looking at scattered showers, there will be some breaks in the shower activity from time to time as well, and we'll be able to time that all out here with Futurecast. Brand new run just coming in, calling for those high thin clouds to stream in as we head into Thursday morning. 6 a.m. temperatures in the 30s away from the water, low 40s right near the coastline. We'll forecast an overnight low of 41 degrees, and those clouds will give way to the sunshine into the afternoon. Officially 60 degrees for a high temperature, likely into the lower 60s in some of the inland spots away from the influence of the water, the bay, the ocean, and the sounds. So we head into your Thursday evening, looking at just a few clouds starting to stream back in, and by Friday morning, looking at mostly cloudy skies in the area. And with the cloud cover, temperatures will not drop as much. We'll start out around 48 to 50 degrees, and then we'll see the showers become a little more numerous as we head into the afternoon. By midday, temperatures in the upper 50s. Should see temperatures around 64 degrees, and by, say, after about 4 or 5 o'clock, those showers should clear out, and we'll look for partly cloudy skies into tomorrow night. Now we'll advance into the day on Saturday, starting out with temperatures in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. Should see mostly sunny skies into the afternoon, but late in the day, a few clouds will stream in, and it looks like Saturday night into Sunday, another round of rain will work its way into the area. And of course, Sunday's a big travel day as well. Right now, we're looking at mainly clear skies, 42 degrees, northeasterly winds at 3 miles per hour, so they're fairly light. Humidity at 92%. And again, you can see the influence of that northeast wind coming in off the water. It's 42 in Norfolk, those 32 in Chesapeake and Franklin, 29 in Emporia, 53 in Manteo, although it's only 38 in Currituck, 37 in Matthews, 36 Hampton, 40 in Portsmouth, 38 in Moyock, and 47 degrees in Elizabeth City. So for tonight, 41 degrees, those high thin clouds on the increase. It'll be a little bit cooler in inland spots. And tomorrow for Thanksgiving, 60 degrees, sunny, and seasonable temperatures, northeast to easterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 7-day forecast, 64 on Friday, scattered showers around. A little bit of a drop in temperatures, and we have lowered those rain chances a bit on Saturday. Partly sunny skies, 57, and then the showers roll back in on Sunday, 66. We clear out as we head into Monday and Tuesday, temperatures back in the 50s, and then we're back into the 60s on Wednesday with another chance at some rain.
Evan, thank you. Remember, you can get the forecast sent straight to your phone. Just text the word weather to the number on your screen. That's 757-628-6200. And we'll send you back a link to click on whenever you want an update. Next, if you're traveling this weekend or expecting visitors, what VDOT is doing to make the holiday travel rush go a little smoother. Filling up at the pump now a bit easier on your wallet. How far gas prices are dropping. Then Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is all set to go. Tonight, how New York City is making sure the event goes off without a hitch.
We're back now with a live look at Interstate 64 and 264. Just hours to go until Thanksgiving celebrations, and the travel rush kicked off today. AAA predicts 55 million Americans will drive or fly for the holiday. That includes 1.4 million Virginians. To ease traffic, VDOT has lifted lane closures across the state until Monday at noon. If you're driving to your destination, we have some good news for you at the gas pump. While prices are still pretty high, they are down across the board again today. The national average is now $3.60, which is down 14 cents in the last week. The average in Virginia is a lot lower. Here, you'll pay $3.39 a gallon, which is down 8 cents from a week ago. A gallon is even cheaper in Hampton Roads. Here, it's going to cost you around $3.33. That's 13 cents cheaper than a week ago.
Tomorrow morning, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade will hit the streets of New York City for its 96th march. But before the floats, marching bands and celebrities head south along that route. The giant character helium balloons were inflated today. Tens of thousands of visitors are expected for the big event. Tonight, the city assuring that safety will be a top priority.
Our partnership with the City of New York is built on shared values. the importance of community, brightening the lives of our fellow New Yorkers at this wonderful time of the year.
And the Counterterrorism Bureau will deploy additional resources to ensure the festivities across the city are safe for all. That parade starts at 9 a.m.
When we come back, if you're a Washington fan, think back to the last time your team played meaningful football at this point in the season. They certainly are these days, and plenty has to do with this former ODU Monarch who has plenty to be thankful for on Thanksgiving.
And now, the Window World Sports Report with Brian Smith.
As the Commanders and quarterback Taylor Heineke settled back in at home for their Week 12 matchup with Atlanta, one player took another step to closely returning. That would be former Carson Wentz starter at quarterback. He was allowed to return to practice with the team today as a possible backup to the former ODU Monarch. The veteran had been placed on injured reserve after fracturing his ring finger on his throwing hand in a win over the Bears. Now, Heineke then took over and led Washington to a 4-1 record over the next 5 games. It feels good to be playing meaningful football in November.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing, but you don't try and look at it like that. But again, the teams that go win Super Bowls, they can run the ball well and they have a good defense, and that's what we've been doing for weeks now. So again, there's a lot of room to improve on both sides of the ball, but we feel good right now.
It's really cool. I mean, look at us right now. I mean, it's one of the things that we hopefully are working to, and we've gotten close to where we can repeat it and we can continue to play well and do those things. I mean, it's important because, again, when you get this late into the season, you want that. You want that attention. You want that focus.
And with Wentz now as Heineke's backup, if you thought there might be tension or awkwardness between these two, quite the opposite. The former Monarch and several of his teammates will be Wentz's guests come Thanksgiving Day.
He's been a great teammate ever since he's gotten here, and even more so, he's a great person. So to have us all at his house, it's going to be really nice.
He's been a true pro. I mean, when you watch him when he first came back, he got behind Taylor right away, got behind Sam, and really helped out in the meetings. He's still very engaged, asking the types of questions that you should ask, and if they aren't asked, he'll ask them. You watch him talking with the receivers about their routes, you talk to the running backs about their angles. I mean, talk to the offensive line. He has done a heck of a job being part of it.
On to college hoops, after dropping the last 2 games on the road, including a 17-point loss to Virginia Tech, William & Mary a chance to capture a second in a row, taking on that would be Radford. The Tribe owning the boards as Nate Collier for 2 of his 10 points as they trail by 1 later. Mateus Case, nice drive for 2 of his 10 points. That tied the game at 10. Then William & Mary making the transition on defense to offense. Off the loose ball, Collier with the dunk. They led by 4 at halftime. Gabe Dorsey doing his part, too. He had 12, including the nice 3-pointer. They go up 33-26. They go on to win by a final of 62-51. Got to mention, too, East Carolina winner, as was on the women's side. Norfolk State women now 4-1. First time they've been off to their best start in literally 20 years.
All right,
another check on the weather now as we head into the holiday.
Yeah, we are looking at partly to mostly sunny skies tomorrow, high temperature around 60 degrees. Showers roll in on Friday.
Thanks.
All right, and before we say goodnight, we want to take one more moment to remember those who died in the shooting at the Walmart.
The youngest is a 16-year-old boy. Police are not going to release his name since he is a minor. The other people who died are 22-year-old Tynika Johnson, 38-year-old Brian Pendleton, 70-year-old Randy Blevins, 52-year-old Kelly Pyle, 43-year-old Lorenzo Gamble.
We're keeping their families in our thoughts, especially the night before Thanksgiving. Have a good night, everyone.
Take care.